Freya Sharon E-Step here at Foundation Fitness, and today we are going to talk about foam rolling and go over how to foam roll properly. So let's start off by talking about which foam roller to select and how to pick a good one. So when selecting a foam roller, you want to make sure that it's firm. This one right here is a little too squishy. You can see how it kind of gives. When you put pressure on it, it kind of folds. This is a good one to start out on, but if you're purchasing one for yourself, I don't recommend getting them this squishy just because it doesn't really do anything once you get used to it. It works okay for the first couple times, but it's also hard to roll on because it collapses so much. So no go on that one. This one right here, the white color, I don't know if they're all the same. I think it depends on the brand, but it's not quite as hard. It gives just a little bit. This is a good mediocre one. They do come in different sizes, the long versus the short. If you're gonna get one, honestly, either one works. You can cut these in half and split it with somebody if you want to, or cut it in thirds. I like the smaller one a little bit better. It just doesn't take up as much space. But either way, this one still is a little bit squishy. I don't love this one, but it's great to start off on, or if you've got really intense pain. But again, if you're gonna buy one, then I would go for just a little bit harder one. So we're gonna roll this away. Get it, foam rolling, no pun intended. Anyways, bad joke. Okay, this one I like a lot. This one's a little firmer. Right here, it doesn't give as much. It does have a little bit of cushion to it. Some people use a PVC pipe to foam roll. I personally think that's a little bit intense. Sometimes I can do it on calves or something like that, but to start off, I definitely recommend getting a foam one. You can get them at Dick's Sporting Goods, Walmart, Academy Sports. Honestly, my favorite place to get them is TJ Maxx and Marshall's. They end up being the cheapest. You can also get them on Amazon. One of those I ordered on Amazon and it ended up being way too squishy. So I do recommend going in person to find it, kind of feel how squishy it is, so forth and so on. But my favorite one is at TJ Maxx, and it's kind of like a PVC pipe, like a plastic pipe with foam around it. So, and it's got some nodules and stuff in there. That's my absolute favorite. So you can also use a massage gun. Those work great. They are a little bit more expensive. Tim Tam is a good one. Theragun is a good one. Hyper Volt's a good one. There's so many of them out there now. You can use those, but I like just a regular foam roller. Myself personally, I have a massage gun. A Pure Wave is a good one too. But if you're doing a foam roller, start off with a foam roller. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Okay, so let's talk about how to foam roll. So foam rolling is also known as self-myofascial release. Same idea as a deep tissue massage. What you're doing is increasing oxygen and blood flow to the area to help healing, recovery, and break up lactic acid fermentation. So grab your foam roller, wherever you want to get it, whatever color, whatever. Personally, I like these. Again, my favorite one's at home, but that's okay. These are great too. So let's start off with our calves. So what you're gonna do is one foot, I'm gonna face this side so you guys can see me a little bit better. What you're gonna do is one leg, I'll go with this leg so you can see on the ground, right at your calves, lift yourself up, roll back and forth, right there. So if you're like, oh, okay, no pain, I'm fine. I can feel it a little bit in my calf personally. Let's take it up a notch. Right here, crossing that other leg over. If you need to modify it and keep your seat down, that's fine. Ideally, try and keep your seat up just to get a little bit more pressure on that calf rolling back and forth. If you feel like you're rolling over knots where you're like, oh, can't take anymore, just hold right there, breathe through it, and keep on rolling, or put that other foot down, or put that seat down to take off the pressure. But that pain is lactic acid fermentation, so we do want to try and work through that pain. Doing good. So foam rolling is great for the knees. It's one of my favorite things. If I don't foam roll, I have knee pain. 90% of knee pain actually isn't knee pain. It comes from an imbalance in your legs. So the muscles in your legs run like this, your quads and your calves. So if you've got one side pulling weird and it's kind of tight, it'll pull everything off. You can tighten up and have knee pain, or if your quad's too tight, it'll kind of pull weird in that quad. So if we can keep those calves and quads and everything foam rolled out, then chances of knee pain are minimized, or if you have knee pain, a lot of the times it will help tremendously. So let's go ahead and switch calves right here, other leg on top, lift those hips up and just rolling back and forth. Also, you can kind of move around, turn your foot around this way, that way, kind of roll over those knots. Again, if you need to, come down. I like to go up on my fingertips just to add just a little bit more leverage. My calves are a little knotty too. I could tell my knees were tight, which is why I decided to make this video. Stop being hypocritical. Practice what I preach. Doing good, and again, just kind of roll around, rolling over those knots. You can point, flex, keep on rolling. Ooh. Honestly, as far as time goes for each section that you foam roll, it just kind of depends on how tight you are, how bad you hurt. I just kind of try and roll till I feel some release and feel some tension, kind of break up in that muscle. 30 seconds, 60 seconds, just kind of depends on the day. If I've got a certain area that's really sore, then I'll spend a little bit more time on that, but at least 30 seconds. I say normally about 30 seconds to 60 seconds before moving on. So let's take it up to the hamstrings. So same idea, doing the back of the legs, right here, your hamstrings. What you're gonna do is one leg out, lift those hips up, and roll on those hamstrings. Now, if you are struggling right here, like, holy cow, hang out right here. If you can, let's take that. I'm on my left leg being out on the foam roller, so I'm gonna take my right ankle and put it on top, scoot a little bit closer, lift up just to add a little bit more pressure to that muscle. Right there, and again, the same thing like we did for our calves, kind of roll in just a little bit, turn the toes out, roll out just a little bit, wherever you're tight, and keep on rolling. Let's give it about another 10 seconds. Normally my hamstrings don't bother me too bad, it's more quads and calves for me, but if you need to stay a little bit longer, feel free to pause this video. Let's go ahead and switch legs. On that foam roller, lift those hips up. Again, I go up to my fingertips just to add just a little bit more leverage, and rolling the toes around, point, flex, turn them out, turn them in, just to get different angles in that hamstring. Also with those massage guns, it's really hard to get your hamstrings. You get quads pretty well, but calves and hamstrings, I think, are hard to get yourself with those massage guns. So they're great, they make a great present for somebody, but I like the foam roller. Plus it's about 1/10 of the cost. Couple more seconds. Awesome. Okay, let's go on up to the piriformis or glutes. So in order to get to our piriformis, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on our, let's go on our left side. So right here, that way you guys can see me better. Leaning on the left side, you're gonna take that left ankle and put it on the right knee, leaning over to that left hip that's opened up, and roll back and forth right there. Getting that space between the hip bone and sacrum. Good. Or tailbone. And again, you can kind of go different angles with it. Just rolling where it hurts. This one normally doesn't hurt me too bad. Every now and then I get a little tender. Foam rolling is great to do after a workout. You can also do it before a workout. I prefer after, just to break up that lactic acid fermentation. It doesn't need to be done in correlation with the workout. You can do it later in the day, first thing in the morning, before you go to bed, whenever. But I do prefer to do it after a workout if you're doing it at the gym. Good, let's go ahead and switch sides. I'm gonna face the front so you guys can see me getting on that right side of the piriformis right here. So I'm leaning over to my right side. My right ankle is on my left knee. I like to hold on to my, with my left hand, my right foot. Really get in there to that hip that's nice and opened up. What I do with a lot of my clients is when they first come in for our first assessment, we will do just a couple squats, nothing crazy, just arms overhead, no weight. And I'll get them to do 10, 15, maybe 20 squats for me. Just kind of see how it feels, watch their body alignment, see if their toes turn out or toes turn in, or knees fold in, or kind of what's going on if their arms drop. That kind of tells me where we need to start to foam roll. So if I see the toes turn out, that can show me tight calves, that can show me tight quads. If I see the knees fold in, that normally shows me inner thighs are a little tighter, so we need to work that. If I see the arms fall, that can mean tight lats. So I love doing that with clients. And then when they're done with our foam rolling session, then we do some squats again, just to kind of see how it feels, see how it looks. And 99.99% of the time, they always feel a difference. So it's great to do. I highly suggest you do that. So do a couple of squats before you start foam rolling, see how it feels, and then do some after and see the difference. Okay, let's move on. So let's go to our outer quads. So, it's suggested not to foam roll those IT bands. So these are your IT bands right in here. So I focus on this outer quad right here. So in order to do that and not get an IT band, there's different studies. Some say you should do your IT band, some say you shouldn't. I always err on the side of caution. So what we're gonna do is I'm on my right side, so my right elbow's down, and I am on that right outer quad. In order to stay on that outer quad, bring this foot in front, and I'm really leaning forward right there to get on that outer quad. Right there. Good. This one always hurts me. Now, if you want to make this more intense, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. I'll try it today. Cross this other leg over. Again, not leaning back, leaning forward to stay on that outer quad right there. This is really where my knees bug me. If I can stay on top of my foam rolling, really don't have any knee pain, but if I miss it for a couple weeks, my knees kind of bother me until I foam roll a couple times a week for a couple weeks, then I can loosen it back up. So again, just making sure that we're leaning forward, staying on that outer quad. Good. Whew. Again, if you need to, cross that other leg over. Good. Let's go to the other side. So on our left side, left elbow, and then you can also use a mat at home or pillow if you need to, if it kind of bothers your elbow. Right here, cross that leg over, the top leg over if you need to. Again, making sure that we're leaning forward. Our chest should be facing more down instead of out. It's gonna help us stay on that outer quad. Again, if you want to intensify, this one's tight. Just making sure that we lean forward, stay on the outer quad versus the IT band. Always err on the side of caution. Good, couple more seconds. And again, stay here longer if you need to. Probably should. Good, but we'll keep it moving for this video. Okay, great. Let's go into the quads. We went to the outer quads right here. Let's go quads. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in a prone position, also known as face down. And I'll face the side, that way you guys can see me. I'm gonna start on my right side. That foam roller is right above that right knee. I'm just rolling back and forth. Up and down, nothing too crazy. Right here, and again, I can kind of turn those toes out in. This one I can't move my toes too much, which is why I separate doing the outer quads where I'm on my side, the one that we just did. And right here. Good, again, grab a mat if you need to. You're getting just above the knee. About mid thigh, mid quad right there. Good, let's go ahead and switch. Switch sides, you can kind of see how my knee's out right there. You might need a pad or a mat for that knee, that's perfectly fine. We're not rolling on our actual knee, just right above that knee. Again, 30 to 60 seconds each side. A little more time if you're feeling really sore or tight. Your body will tell you. Good. Okay, pause it if you need to. I'm gonna keep it moving. So what we're gonna do now is go for that inner thigh right there. So what we're gonna do, same position we're just in, we're just moving that foam roller to that inner thigh. My leg is about at 90 degrees. You can angle it a little bit more, a little bit less, however you need to. Trying to lift myself up. If you can't, then you can't, that's fine. Try and lift yourself up. Roll back and forth, staying right around that knee. This is a great one to prevent groin injuries, because it's all connected. You can also extend that leg, bend it in, extend it. Sometimes I'll just stay there, pull that leg in and out with that pressure on the muscle there. Keep it rolling. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Face this way, that way you guys can see me. Face down, like right here. Lift those hips up. Whew, this side's tight. And just rolling back and forth. Nice small movements. Again, extend. And then in and out, and just hold there. You can also foam roll with that leg out. You want to rotate forward just a little bit more. Just kind of trying to find those knots. This is kind of one of those no pain, no gain things. Okay, let's take it to the hip flexors right here. So we're in that same position still. I know, I'm sorry. And what we're gonna do is go right in the fold of your hip, right here, going back and forth, there. My hip flexors get super tight. A lot of times people have back pain coming from tight hip flexors. So what happens if your hip flexors keep foam rolling are really, really tight, they're gonna pinch right here and cause this action right here where the glute sticks out, causing lower back pain. So we do wanna make sure that we stretch out those hip flexors as well as foam roll. Stay here for another couple seconds, switch sides. Good, other side. Nice and deep into that hip flexor. Good, okay, let's take it up to the lats. So the lats are right here underneath the arm. What we're gonna do is lay on our side, take that arm out, lean back just a little bit, and roll side to side. Good. Phew. You can lean forward on these or lean back, however. Not a big movement. You should feel it. You can move that hand up, make that palm face up, or take it to twist it down. Twist it to face down. There we go. However, feel it more intense. Again, not a big movement. My lats always get really tight as well. Good, let's take it to the other side. Again, pause the video if you need to, and keep rolling. Good, lean forward, back just a little bit, see where you feel it. More intense, try not to roll over your hair like I'm doing, it doesn't feel great. About another 10 seconds. Awesome, okay, so last but not least, we're gonna go on our back. So we don't wanna roll on our actual spine. So we're gonna stay in the upper back area. So what we're gonna do is right in between the shoulder blades, lift those hips up. And again, try not to roll over your hair. Keep those hips nice and lifted. And keep those shoulders rounded to get that back. Keep those hips nice and high. Small movements, just up and down. Kind of pull my shoulders forward just a little bit too to really get in there. Again, small movements. Feels great right in between the shoulder blades. Going crooked. Awesome. Okay, well that is some foam rolling 101 for you guys. Hope you enjoyed, hope this helps. Try it out, let me know what you think, and hopefully you have an awesome day. Thanks so much, guys.